Here is the deep dive narration of My Unborn Baby Chose, a Billionaire Daddy at my wedding from start to finish. Tracking Summers. Dramatic transformation from a humiliated bride to the protected woman of the city's most ruthless heir. Act 1. The altar, the affair, and the warning. The story opens on Summer's wedding day. Dressed in her white bridal gown and visibly pregnant, she is standing at the altar, ready to marry her fiancé. To the outside world, she is a woman securing her future. In reality, she is walking into a trap set by her toxic fiancé and her scheming family, who have secretly plotted to humiliate her and strip her of everything. Just as the vows are about to be exchanged, an eerie, unmistakable voice echoes in Summer's mind. It is her unborn baby communicating with her through a supernatural twist of fate. The baby delivers a chilling warning. Her fiancé is a liar. The wedding is a setup, and he is not the father. Before Summer can even process this telepathic shock, the baby drops the ultimate revelation. The true biological father is actually standing right in the venue. It is Caleb Westbrook, the most feared, ruthless billionaire heir in the city, who happens to be attending the high society event. Act 2. The public humiliation and the bold gamble. Moments later, the trap springs. The fiancé publicly halts the wedding, throwing fabricated evidence of infidelity in Summer's face. He loudly brands her an unfaithful fraud and mocks her pregnancy, claiming the child is a bastard of unknown lineage. The wedding guests erupt into whispers, and Summer's own family turns their backs on her, leaving her completely trapped and humiliated on the stage. Realizing she has absolutely nothing left to lose, and trusting the impossible warning of her unborn child, Summer locks eyes with the one man everyone in the room is terrified of. She bypasses her ex, walks straight down the altar steps, and approaches Caleb Westbrook. In front of the entire elite crowd, she boldly claims him as the father of a child. The room goes dead silent. Caleb, known for his cold and unyielding nature, is sharp enough to recognize a calculated play. But something about Summer's desperation and a hidden memory of a fateful night stops him from rejecting her on the spot. To the absolute horror of the ex-fiancé and the guests, Caleb steps up, accepts the claim, and sweeps Summer away from the venue under his personal protection. Act 3. Secrets and deadly schemes. Now living under Caleb's roof, Summer enters a high-stakes world of luxury cloaked in danger. Caleb is fiercely protective but deeply cynical. He has been burned by betrayals in his own family and struggles to fully trust Summer's motives. He launches a private investigation into that mysterious past night to verify the child's true lineage. Meanwhile, the toxic ex-fiancé and Summer's rivals are furious that their plan backfired. Instead of ruining Summer, they accidentally pushed her into the arms of the most powerful man in the city. They form a dangerous alliance to bring her down, launching a series of deadly schemes. At the sabotage, they attempt to ruin Summer's reputation by leaking forged medical records to the media, trying to prove Caleb is being fooled. At the physical threat, as the corporate and family power struggles close in, the schemes turn violent. Rivals attempt to orchestrate a physical accident to terminate Summer's pregnancy, knowing the baby is her ultimate shield and Caleb's true heir. Throughout these crises, the unborn baby continues to serve as Summer's hidden guardian angel, alerting her to hidden traps, poisoned drinks, and approaching corporate spies just in the nick of time. Act 4. Caleb's realization, the climax. The drama reaches its peak during a grand Westbrook corporate gala. The villains stage a massive confrontation, presenting what they believe is definitive proof of Summer's deceit, demanding Caleb cast her out to save the Westbrook empire from public disgrace. But the villains completely underestimate Caleb's resources and Summer's foresight. Having survived the assassination and sabotage attempts thanks to her baby's warnings, Summer exposes the villains, corporate espionage and financial crimes right there on the big screens. Simultaneously, Caleb's trusted investigators arrive with the bulletproof DNA results. The truth is blasted to high society. The baby is undeniably a Westbrook. Caleb realizes that Summer didn't manipulate him. Fate truly bound them together. Act V. Absolute protection and a new beginning. With the truth cemented, Caleb's cold exterior completely melts. His protective instincts turn into absolute Ruthless vengeance against those who harmed his woman and child. The ex-fiancé and co-conspirators. Caleb systematically bankrupts their businesses, ensures their elite status is permanently erased, and hands over evidence of their criminal schemes to the authorities, leaving them utterly ruined. The ultimate upgrade. Caleb publicly declares his unwavering love and devotion to Summer. He recognizes her not just as the mother of his heir, but as a fiercely intelligent partner who saved his empire from internal traitors. The ultimate trap, the hospital ambush. Following the public exposure at the Westbrook Gala, the desperate ex-fiancé and Summer's toxic family realize their social standing is completely dead. With nothing left to lose, they launch one final, manic plot. Knowing that Summer is nearing her delivery date, they bribe a corrupt staff member at the Westbrook-owned private hospital. When Summer suddenly goes into labor, she is rushed into the delivery wing, completely unaware that the medical team has been heavily compromised, as Caleb is momentarily held up by a staged corporate emergency engineered by rival Westbrook board members. The villains slip into the hospital. They plan to kidnap the newborn baby immediately after birth, force Summer to sign over a fraudulent confession of corporate fraud, and use the child to blackmail Caleb for half of the Westbrook fortune. The unborn baby's final warning. As Summer lies in the delivery room, her consciousness fading from the physical toll of labor, the supernatural connection with her baby sparks one last time. The baby's voice echoes in her mind, sharper and more urgent than ever. "Mommy, don't take the medicine." The nurse is lying, and they are waiting right outside the door. Spurred by pure maternal instinct, Summer gathers her remaining strength. She knocks a spiked sedative out of the corrupt nurse's hand and locks herself inside the inner surgical suite just as they, ex-fiancé and her sister, burst into the outer room. Trapped but defiant, she uses her phone to broadcast a direct, encrypted distress signal to Caleb. Caleb's fury and the rescue. When Caleb receives the alert and realizes his corporate distraction was an ambush on his family, his cold, ruthless persona turns into pure terror for the woman he loves. He drops the board meeting entirely, mobilizing his elite security force. Caleb breaches the hospital doors like a force of nature. Just as the ex-fiancé is about to break down the inner door to Summer's room, Caleb and his men swarm the corridor. The confrontation is swift and brutal. Caleb personally pins the ex-fiancé to the ground, ensuring he faces the terrifying reality of what happens when you touch a Westbrook heir. The corrupt medical staff and the family co-conspirators are instantly arrested on charges of attempted kidnapping, corporate sabotage, and medical malpractice. The birth and poetic justice. With the threat neutralized, the real medical team takes over. Caleb rushes to Summer's side, holding her hand as she finally gives birth to a healthy, beautiful baby boy. In a beautifully emotional twist, the moment the baby is placed in Caleb's arms, the infant stops crying and looks directly at him. Summer softly tells Caleb that it was the baby's voice that kept her alive and guided her to him at the altar on that chaotic wedding day. Caleb, a man who once trusted no one, breaks down in tears, realizing that fate truly chose this path for them. The epilogue, a true imperial wedding. The movie fast-forwards a few months. The villains are shown in prison garments, stripped of every dime, facing life sentences with absolutely no hope of bail. The final scene opens on a spectacular, sunlit estate garden. This time, it is a real wedding. Summer walks down an aisle lined with white roses, looking breathtakingly beautiful. Standing at the altar is Caleb, looking at her with nothing but pure adoration, holding their thriving baby boy who is dressed in a miniature tuxedo. As Caleb slides the ring onto Summer's finger and kisses his bride, the camera pans to the baby, who lets out a happy giggle. The movie ends with a heartwarming narration from Summer, realizing that while her ex tried to ruin her life at the altar, her unborn baby truly knew exactly how to choose the perfect billionaire daddy. Please support me by subscribing. Thank you.